What do the people want? Do they want a job or they want to never have to work again? Michael answered all these questions and many more recently. He was talking about the future of Bitcoin and how it can be used as an asset on which you can retire. Michael explained that if what you want is social security and you want to be able to retire early at the age of 40, live with your family and enjoy your life. You don't want cheap pizza, you don't want free streaming YouTube and Netflix, that's patronizing. No one wants to work till they are 80 and have a cheap YouTube. What we actually want is to work till we are 40, buy a bond and then retire. Or we can say that we never have to work again. Michael just showed this data that if we have to buy an asset, and so the pernicious issue is what the inflation rate of assets is. It was 8% a year from 2010 to 2020, and it was 35% from March of 2020 to March of 2021. Michael adds up that if you are working, if you are 21 years old and you have got a job earning cash, you just saw your assets inflate by 25 or 30%. That's the risk of inflation. Once you understand that, then you realize if you wish to preserve your wealth or to create wealth, the number that matters is the cost of capital. That is the asset inflation rate, which is equal to the S&P 500 index return or the M2 money supply. If you are not actually able to keep up, stay ahead of that, then you are getting poorer. So if you are a laborer, if you have a job and your salary didn't go up by 25% in the last 12 months, you got weaker, or to be clear, you got poorer. Here Michael points that the government doesn't want to use 25% of the inflation rate because they don't want to give every federal employee a 25% raise. So they'll say, well, it's only 1% inflation, there's no inflation yet. But then again, if every house in America, on average, according to the Case-Shiller index, went up by 11% this year, then how is that inflation rate just 1%? Well, you just don't want to buy a house. That's not for you. These are not the droids you are looking for. It's patronizing. It just reminds us of this one famous phrase. All of our research shows us we can't tell people what to think, but we can tell them what to think about. So if we just repeat CPI, CPI, there's no inflation. If we keep repeating that, then we'll agree with them. But the Fed prints $1 trillion. The stock market spikes. People don't say, oh my god, assets have inflated. There's hyperinflation in assets. What they actually say is, oh, we are brilliant. The stock market's going up. Isn't that great? Michael clears that it's not great for people with cash. By the way, here's the problem. It's not great for any company that's value based on fiat cash flows. That is every value stock. If you have a stock value based on future cash flows, and if the discount rate is equal to the M2 money supply, and if it goes to 15% a year, you have to discount the cash flows 15% a year. So what we realize is, if the government is printing money, all of those value stocks can't possibly hold their value. So they are destroying the wealth in the equity market over the long term, while they are goosing it in the near term. And ultimately, we are going to create this massive stampede to a store of value that is not real estate, that is not bonds, that is not cash, that is not value stocks. That is going to be what? GameStop, super high tech, high flyer, speculative stocks, the specs. And then that drives people out of the system. And then we have to take a look at either gold or at Bitcoin. The clear answer here, according to Michael, is Bitcoin and not gold. Michael says that if you bought gold, you got destroyed. But if you bought Bitcoin, you did very well. All of that's being driven by monetary policy. The Federal Reserve and the Europe Central Bank have tripled the cost of capital, and that has made our investment decision much easier. What they have done is they put 95% of every company underwater. Most companies can't grow their cash flows 25% a year. It's impossible to do so without taking on any insane risk. So why is Tesla working? Because people are looking for hyper growth that they think that's going to grow more than 25%. Tesla is going to change the world. And if you don't like that, you go buy GameStop. Otherwise, what you are going to buy? Big tech? You can buy big tech, but they are all tech monopolies. Michael says that Facebook, Apple, Amazon, and Google to be able to raise their prices 25% a year for every year for the next 8 years without regulators doing something about that. Maybe they can. That's your bet. So Michael says that if you think that the currency is going to weaken by 20%, all you can do is buy scarce assets, trophy assets, scarce art, Bitcoin, something which is not correlated to the existing fiat cash flow, because everything else has been debased to the point that a million pages of information and strategy are all irrelevant. The models are all irrelevant. Everything that we have learned in 30 years is all completely irrelevant. And the best example is what you are going to buy in Venezuela or Zimbabwe if the currency collapses. The answer is nothing. If you are in Argentina and the peso slides from 3 pesos to the dollar to 150 pesos to the dollar, which is what happened in the last 10 years, there is no investment strategy, no money manager in Argentina, no portfolio of stocks, bonds, equity, derivatives, or real estate. Nothing which is going to work other than this one thing. You convert your pesos into dollars. You convert all your cash flows. You finance all your fixed assets. You issue as much equity as you can in pesos. You issue as much debt unsecured in pesos. Converted all the dollars. Put it into a bank outside to control the Argentine government so that they can't convert it back into pesos and then again debase it. That's the only strategy that Michael suggests, the strategy of buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a bank in cyberspace. It's a hard asset. You take your money, you convert it to Bitcoin, you put it in a bank and cyberspace, and then you are indifferent to how much currency gets printed by the Federal Reserve. So guys, do you like this strategy of Michael so that you can retire by the age of 40? Tell me in the comment section below. Would you like to follow his strategy or not? And if not, then why? And if you'll follow it, then why you'll follow it? I'll see you in my next video. Till then, have a nice day.